No matter what happens, no matter how hopeless, promise me now and never let go of that promise.
I promise.
Never let go.
I promise I will never let go, Dale. I'll never let go.
Why am I drowning?
You shouldn't have let go. You let go. There's no room on this door for you.
Don't even start. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Easy Mode. That's Henry K. He let go. I'm currently drowning. And yeah, welcome.
And that's Dale. I'm still on the door, and she's not. But we are back this week with another episode of Easy Mode, the video game, professionally casual gaming podcast, where this week we're talking about video game movies and TV shows, baby.
That's right. If you didn't get from our, dramatic rendition of the award-winning movie Titanic, in which I played Jack, who was let go.
And well, I play Rose because she's beautiful and so am I.
Well, that's actually true. We were foreshadowing, yes, just like Henry said. We're going to be talking about some stunning hits, some flops, and some great TV adaptations to come. But before we do that, Henry, tell me, what is your favorite TV show? We always ask what's your favorite game? Like, what have you been playing? I want to change it up this week. What is your favorite TV show growing up that has a game adaptation to it?
TV show come game or game come movie?
Either.
Either? You know what? That's good. Actually, that makes it broader, which I actually enjoy more. But one of the first movies I saw growing up that was a sort of video game, to me, it was at the same time because I didn't know which one came first. But Pokemon, the Pokemon movie, where all the Pokemons were cloned and they had to fight Mewtwo, and then
yes, I remember
Ash showed
that
his
movie.
stone and Pikachu cried and all the other Pokemon cried, and then Mewtwo felt bad, and then Mew was there. I saw that in theaters back in the day, and I'll never forget that.
Wow,
Yeah.
See, I saw that on TV. That was going to be my answer too. So we both had, that was so,
Aw.
but that was when I was thinking about it, I'm like, that was so dramatic as a child.
It was so dramatic.
It was truly so dramatic. But yes, just like our Oscar-winning performance, we have an Oscar-winning performance coming up with our, what we're going to share with you. So let's just dive on in.
Yeah. Let's dive in. All right. Very unlike us, JK actually very like us. We're going to be throwing some Rotten Tomatoes in this section of the show. We're going to go over the best rated by Rotten Tomatoes video game adaptations movies. We're going to go through the worst. And then I do want to say something.
Okay.
I do love a Rotten Tomatoes. I love checking it out, gauging what people are saying about a movie. However, I am a firm believer that you can enjoy a movie with a bad score on that list. I do not take that list as law. And I might be defending myself for later on when we go over the best and worst. But also I do wholeheartedly agree that critics in a list ultimately is a general consensus of a lot of people, but it does not take away the joy you can experience from a movie and or game. A rating is just a rating. You create your own fun.
Henry, that was so... I felt inspired after you said that, but also I'm like, who's paying you to say that? It felt so easily.
This ad is brought to you by...
All right.
What's that? Nielsen. I'm just kidding.
Oh, that guy who films and makes all his movies by himself? Oh, yeah, I know the guy. Yeah.
No, that's the company in America that rates all of our shows through selected people's boxes. They put boxes in people's homes and they consume they see what shows people are consuming and what aren't. It's the Nielsen something.
Oh, okay. Well, not in Canada.
I guess
or maybe
not.
I just don't.
I mean, I don't
one.
know.
I don't know either.
You have 3 boxes in your home. They're rating everything you watch. Okay, let's get started. So, speaking of video game adaptation movies, there are a few that have come out very, very recently. One of those being Sonic the Hedgehog. Uncharted movie just came out with Tom Holland. That was very, very recent. Hi, Tom. We know you're listening.
We know you're listening.
Tell Cynthia we said hi.
Yeah, tell her I say hello, and I love her.
Yeah, me too. Mortal Kombat was also a recent one to come out. That one has had multiple adaptations already. And then even on Netflix, Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City had a sort of what's it when it's not real people? What's that called?
CGI?
Yeah, an animated. Had an animated.
It's not real.
Had an animated adaptation. But let's go ahead and start with the best rated movies from video games from Rotten Tomatoes. The first one, Dale, I have never heard of this game at all. Have you heard of a game called Werewolves Within?
No. Is
So
it based off of wait, hold on a second. Is it based off of a visual novel?
Not exactly fully sure. I don't believe so because Werewolves Within is actually no, it's not because I'm going to tell you what it is.
Oh.
It's a multiplayer VR game that came out for the Oculus/PlayStation VR. It was published by Red Storm Entertainment and Ubisoft. It came out in 2016, and they very recently made a movie about it.
Oh.
And it is the best rated one on video game adaptation movies at 86%.
Really? How have I never heard of this? What? Okay.
It's out of this top 5. It is the one of 2 movies that is certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. Yes,
Ooh.
This made me want to check out the game Werewolves Within and see what it's all about, but also watch the movie. I was like, oh, I love a good movie. Yeah. And I love video games, so I should love this, I guess.
It's like the best of both worlds. Okay, well, I'm going to put that down on my list. I'm going to look on like Letterboxd because I'm like a nerd who tracks everything that she watches.
Oh, that's fun. I wish I was like that. I'm not. I just remember it. Oh. I don't know.
Okay, cool.
Number 2, this one was an odd one when it first came out, but then it went on to have a sequel. Number 2 on the list of best rated video game movies is The Angry Birds Movie 2.
Okay, you know what's funny about this? Okay, what year did this come out? Because I feel like I remember children all buying like toys and their parents, like everyone was super into this whole Angry Birds movement for the movies.
Angry Birds were everywhere.
Everywhere. Literally everywhere. And I never played the game. I never saw the movie, but everybody and their mother loved it. Well, and I say everybody, I mean at least 5 children that I saw who live in my community.
I like the Angry Birds game, which is very interesting too, because this is like the only mobile game turned large franchise. Like there's no like AAA Angry Birds games. You know what I mean? It's just an app on your phone.
Yeah. So do you think that Candy Crush is going to get its own film adaptation?
I wish it would.
After Angry Birds.
I'd audition for that.
For Candy Crush?
Yeah.
You could be a cute little jelly bean.
I would. I'd be the cutest jelly bean, actually.
Yes, you would.
Number 3 on the list, Dale, is one that I actually haven't seen, but this made me want to see it because I was skeptical at the time. But that's number 3, Pokemon Detective Pikachu.
Oh, see, I actually saw that in theaters and I was very disappointed.
Oh, really? Well, it's number 3 on this list. 68% rating. And then, you watched it, so you know the concept, but for those who haven't, it's a live action detective movie with a talking Pikachu voiced by Ryan Reynolds. So fun, entertaining, sort of different for a Pokemon movie. There are a lot of Pokemon movies, usually animated, sort of one-offs that sort of connect the seasons of Pokemon.
Yes.
But this was sort of live action and different. And number 3 on this list, very, very fun.
I love it. Well, I didn't love it, but I love that Pokemon.
I mean, that's true. Don't lie. We just heard you say you didn't. Number 4 on this list, that is going to get a sequel, but we'll talk about that later, is Sonic the Hedgehog, which I do have a soft spot for because they did something that a lot of video game companies and film companies don't do, and that is listen to their fans.
The first Sonic they released was so bad, right? Like,
so they pre-released like the shape of an image of Sonic the Hedgehog, and when everyone saw it, they just could not believe that like that was going to be Sonic in this movie. Now, either it was just a terrible concept or like the most genius marketing ploy of all time. They reworked the character of Sonic to be more of what the fans imagined, and the fans showed up for the movie and supported it, and now it's getting a sequel. But Sonic the Hedgehog number 2 has Jim Carrey. The sequel is going to have a lot of other fun characters that I love because I am a fan of the Sonic franchise. But I freaking love that as a success story from also, internet like bomb to like number 4 on this list. And
it's funny that Sonic's on here and you're talking about it because last week you were rolling around at the speed of sound. I just had to. Also, just to clarify what Henry said, Sonic is number 4, not number 2 on the list. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, you're like Sonic number 2.
Number 2 in my heart, maybe.
Yeah.
But I can't wait to see that. I need to catch up on the first, and I'll definitely be seeing the second. And then number 5 on this list, another recent movie in 2021 is the resurgence of, again, the Mortal Kombat franchise.
See, all of these movies that you've listed, I haven't seen any of them except for Pokemon Detective Pikachu. So did you say that you haven't seen the movie or you have?
The only one I've seen is Mortal Kombat.
Really? And did you like it?
I did like it. I really enjoyed it. the characters, I like how they were all done. It had some cool-ish backstory, and the way like the movie was made wasn't super cheesy, which was good, which I think is hard with Mortal Kombat. But I just maybe could have used like a little more depth into the characters. Like I played a lot of Mortal Kombat growing up.
Oh, I see.
And I'm a minor-ish fan of the franchise. But I just thought the story maybe lacked a little depth. Like I didn't care about the main story part, but I loved seeing all the characters, and I thought they were all done really, really well.
Ooh. How did they... See, I feel like I need to watch some of these films because Mortal Kombat's a fighting game, right? So how did they have like a movie about it? You know, like what was the premise? Same with like, yeah. Sorry, continue.
Well, so the premise of Mortal Kombat is that they're all attending this interdimensional event called Mortal Kombat. And they have to like win for their realm, or their realm's going to be destroyed by, I think, Shao Kahn or someone. Okay. So that's the premise of the movies, is that they all attend this interdimensional fighting competition to defend Earth and our realm that we live in from other dimensions of terrible fighters too. But this 2021 movie was setting up the actual Mortal Kombat event. So in the 2021, when they don't go to Mortal Kombat, they're just getting ready to go to Mortal Kombat. So I assume in the sequel that they will eventually have, that's what they'll do.
Cool.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else to say except for I thought Detective Pikachu was a little bit overrated because I'm not in love with Ryan Reynolds.
It looked good though. It visually looked great.
Visually, the beginning was great, but then it started getting very, very cheesy. You know, like when it starts off strong, you're like, cheese. It gets so like cheesy. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. But what was really fun about seeing Detective Pikachu is when you went to see the movie in theaters, they actually gave you Pokemon cards. You got a Pokemon card for when you went. Yeah, and it was like one Pokemon card. You open it, and it was like, what's your starter?
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it was actually really cute. I thought that was a really fun little marketing ploy.
It would have worked on me. Now, from loving that to hating it, let's jump over to the worst video game movies. I'm going to point out something funny during that. When making this list, I had me cracking up. This poor guy. I think like in this list, like 4 out of 6 of these movies of like the worst video game movies of all times are directed by the same person. And like, to me, it was painful to like see that like repetitively.
Okay, I'm excited to know who it is because I have no idea.
Okay, so I'm going to start off. I think I maybe did more than, I definitely did more, but I think I did it for the point. There's this movie called Bloodrayne based on the game Bloodrayne, sort of these magical sorcerer people. It's sword and sorcery kind of game, and it was, the reason I put it on here is because it's from, the director's name's like, I don't know if it's Uwe Boll or Boll. I don't know how to pronounce the name exactly. But that movie has a 4% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. This list, they really are down here in the numbers. These poor movies.
Did you say 4%?
4%, yeah.
How bad? How long are these movies? Are they like...
I don't know. This one's from 2005.
Oh, my...
Yeah.
Okay, wow, okay.
But yes,
so
directed
really
by
Uwe
Boll or Uwe Boll. He directed this film. After that comes Mortal Kombat Annihilation. So that is the sequel to the original Mortal Kombat, which did give us an absolute banger of a song that dun 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 Mortal Kombat. You know that song?
I feel like I would if you maybe sang it correctly.
Do 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 Mortal, and then they yell Mortal Kombat. They're letting you know what it's all about. So Mortal Kombat Annihilation, which is on this list of worst video game adaptation movies, released in 1997, was the sequel to that first one, which I know is a bad movie, but I hold it very close to my heart. I freaking love it.
That's why you put a disclaimer at the beginning of your section.
Yeah, I had to do it here.
You're like, even though the rating's bad, I still got to enjoy it and nobody come for me. That's why you did that. That was all for you.
And it's for Mortal Kombat.
It was for, wow, Mortal Kombat. Okay.
I know. After that, it's In the Name of the King, a Dungeon Siege Tale. I'm not familiar with that game franchise.
Heard that at all. It's a franchise? There's more than one? Huh.
Video IP, I don't know what to call it. Is it you have to have more than one for a franchise?
I think you have to have more than one at least.
Okay.
I thought it was at least 3. I don't know. What do we
learn
know?
Something new every day. So this is what they said about it. Featuring mostly wooden performances, laughable dialogue, and shoddy production values. In the Name of the King fulfills all expectations of a Uwe Boll film.
It's Uwe again. Wait, did Uwe do all these that we've just listed so far? That's all Uwe?
He didn't do Mortal Kombat.
Oh, that's why you liked it.
Yeah. Well, that's not why. I liked it before.
I don't know.
Figured out who poor Uwe Boll is.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
All right. After that, Which I did not know was a video game, but I do know of the movie House of the Dead. Number 3 at 3%. Sorry, is what I meant to say. Also directed by Uwe Boll, but did not know it was a franchise. I mean, another video game.
I'm looking this guy up right now. I just want to know what his face looks like so that every single time we say his name, Uwe Boll. Oh, he's German. Wow. Okay. This is not how I expected him to look.
I know. He looks like he
this
could be more talented than he is, I guess.
Okay. He retired from filmmaking, though. 2016, he retired.
Good reason, probably.
That's just, yeah.
Yeah. After that is Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun-Li. Again, fighting movies are hard to make into a movie.
Yeah.
So the critics said about this one, it has 3% on Rotten Tomatoes. The critics said that the combination of a shallow plot, as I mentioned, plots are hard in fighting movies, and miscast performers render Street Fighter: Legend of Chun-Li a perfectly forgettable video game adaptation.
Who did they cast for Chun-Li?
Chun-Li, they cast. Did you ever watch Smallville?
Yes.
The girl who played Lois Lane, Kristen Crook.
What?
Yeah, she played Chun-Li.
Okay.
Chun-Li is one of my favorite video game characters of all time.
I know you love Chun-Li.
She has strong legs, and like one day I will do a Chun-Li cosplay.
You need to have those thick thighs. Yeah, I'm just looking at her in the movie, and it's not hitting.
The movie's not hitting the spot for Street Fighter.
No, like the way that the casting.
Yeah, it does not
this
look
one
good.
still is already giving me cringe. This one still. I need to close this tab before I, get a little too emotional.
So the worst one, according to Rotten Tomatoes, is the movie called Alone in the Dark. It has 1% rating, and it has quite a few famous people. Christian Slater and Tara Reid were in it.
Okay.
And it is, of course, directed by our friend Uwe Boll from Germany.
1%.
1%.
How did
imagine making this many movies and they're all bombing.
But how do you keep failing, but you still have the money to keep doing it, so people still believe in you, or you just must be like super rich and this is your passion? Like, I want to know, how is this possible? You know, because usually if there's like a flop,
somewhere.
Probably like what you just said. Oh my god. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
But isn't that? I mean, I'm gonna check out these games because some of these games I haven't heard of, but I definitely won't be checking out these movies.
No, thank
Unless
you.
I need a good laugh.
Oh,
except for Mortal Kombat Annihilation, I will be watching you again soon. I have some nostalgia for that.
To anyone who has seen any of these movies, or if you have seen Mortal Kombat and you have a different opinion than Henry, please tweet us. I want to see you guys fight in the comments.
I don't need to defend it to anyone. I feel I will hold my opinion true and strong.
No, the 4% is just so good. See, it's funny that you said that because I am a little bit biased. Like, yes, I choose a movie, but then I look at the rating and I'm like, oh man. But then sometimes you watch it and you're like, that was actually a really good movie. Or sometimes you watch a movie and it's like so bad, but everybody else loves it.
Yeah.
Right? So you're right with what you said. And I am kind of curious about this movie that you really love. So maybe I should watch it.
It was so fun. It's just quintessential like 90s. It's quintessential like cheesy, but it's so cool. It was so cool at the time when I watched it. I was like, yeah. I was like young. These cool people were fighting. They looked like they do in the game, which was the best part probably to me. They look very similar.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Speaking of movies, I know we just had the Oscars recently at the time of recording this episode. But, I mean, one of the movies that I thought everyone loved that I did not enjoy was Nightmare Alley. I thought it was terrible.
I've not seen that movie.
I love movies, and I rarely think things are bad, but I left there and I was like, wow, that wasted my time. Like, I didn't think it was like bad, but I was like, I didn't get anything from this. This was not enjoyable.
I don't know which movie you're talking about, but
I
know you love movies
She
so
was
much.
the best part. She was. I love her. Icon. All right, so just want to shout out a few video game movie adaptations that are coming out.
Okay.
Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Very, very excited for that one because it does have some of my favorite characters from the franchise. Knuckles is going to be the main antagonist in this film, which is very, very exciting, voiced by Idris Elba. Tails is going to be in this movie.
We love Tails.
I love Tails. Smart and can fly, like, and like can make like robots. Freaking cool. And I wish like Amy was in it, but maybe they'll give us Amy later on. I don't know.
Jim Carrey's in it again, right?
Yes. People love him in it.
This is the only movie I think I read that he will do a sequel to because he loved it so much. He loves Sonic. He loves being.
He seems like he's having fun. Which
he is.
I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
We will flag, but we're not going to say anything further. But the Super Mario movie with Chris Pratt as Mario is coming out at some point in the future, so something to watch out for.
Watch out for, yeah.
And then The Division, the video game, is having a movie being done starring recent Oscar winner Jessica Chastain.
Oh,
and,
I love her.
Red Scarf Stealer from Taylor Swift's most recent album, Jake Gyllenhaal, are both starring in The Division, which is very, very exciting. I can watch Jessica Chastain in any movie.
She's great.
And then, fantastic. And then finally, they did announce a Minecraft movie in 2019. However, I believe there was some disagreement on the plot with like the studio and the people who were making it. No other information's really been announced about the movie. It hasn't been canceled. It hasn't been anything. Sort of in limbo. But they did announce it at E3 in 2019. So at some point in the future, maybe to come. I don't know.
Wait a second. How are they going to do a Minecraft movie?
They can do anything. Because it's just open world.
I mean, that is true. Oh, maybe they could do like a Minecraft Matrix like crossover, you know, like going into your computer into the world of Minecraft.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Some big ideas out here.
Mm-hmm. They should call us.
At least call me.
I'll just say, oh, that was good. No, that's not good.
No, they put me on like a blacklist. Like, who is this girl with these ideas? Not good.
Who let this lady with ideas in here?
Henry, before we take a little segue, I want to ask you, what video game that you play would you love to see a movie adaptation made of?
Oh my God.
I know, quite the question.
I know, it's a big question. I'm like, honestly, so many. I mean, I'm a big fan of the Blackout Club. I love like a kids beating adults kind of movie. I think that's super, super fun. And like very mysterious. I love a mysterious movie. Valorant releases a lot of really great cinematics when it comes to their seasons and acts. And I'm like, this is a movie I would watch as well. Very cool fight scenes, very like fun, like powers. Like there's a lot of secrets in those games that I'm like, can you put out a movie and tell me about it? That would be great. Yeah, those are two I would love. What about you?
I think that this isn't like an answer for me, but I think it would be really cool if they did Final Fantasy because it already has such a huge like storyline. They did a live action. They already did.
They did a Final Fantasy movie. I could tell you about it right now. It was on this list.
Was it good? Did it do well?
Kind of in the middle.
Oh, okay.
Not super notable. And also, I was just like, I had never heard of this. Final Fantasy. I'll tell you about it right now. I still have the list up.
Okay.
Blurring the lines between reality and computer animation, Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within is the first. Oh, I don't care about the first. It has 44 and 48. I'm trying to tell you what it's about. Oh, it's the first like motion picture to have computer generated human characters. Pits people on Earth against the ultimate enemy, mysterious enemies that steal energy from all living things. It came out in 2001. Final Fantasy did have a movie.
To answer my own question, I would say Skyrim. I think I'd like Skyrim or Professor Layton or something that has a good soundtrack already. I want to see how like that soundtrack would then like translate into like a movie.
Okay. Actually, before we cut, I do have one to tell you about that you would love is that Ace Attorney has a movie. I believe
Does it actually?
Yeah, I believe it's Japanese.
I think I know which one you're talking about. It's very memeable. I think I know what you're talking about.
The characters look like they do in the game. It's like very like
we'll have to look into
over the top and like but like accurate to like their costumes. Yeah, it looks great. You should check it out.
I do. I should. Yeah. Okay. That just got me excited.
Yeah. All right. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. I think Dale's going to tell us about some maybe TV streaming video game adaptations.
Some stuff coming to the small screen near you. It's probably already at your house. You just have to turn on your TV.
You have to remember pay that Netflix subscription. That's what I have to do.
They increased that price recently. Henry, I feel like recently there have been so many video game to TV adaptations, and I'm going to go through this list. First, we're going to start off with Arcane and Riot. Have you watched the Arcane TV show?
I haven't, but I've been actually saving it for a special occasion because everyone said it's so good. I can't wait to see.
You know how you were just talking about your Rotten Tomato ratings? Or like, how many tomatoes we're going to throw at them? Listen, Arcane got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. It is
100?
that, 100% on
Oh my
Rotten Tomatoes. And it's
gosh.
kind of crazy because I was reading online and people were like, do I need to like know the lore? Do I need to play League to understand this? And you don't need to. It's just such a good show. So if anybody doesn't know what it's about, it's an animated action adventure series, currently has 9 episodes out. The story follows the origins of 2 iconic League champions and the power that will tear them apart. So that's kind of like broad, not giving you too much into it. I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen it. We both haven't seen it, but it's definitely on my list. And coming with 100% like audience backing.
I know, that's a big deal.
That must mean that it is popping off.
Yeah, we should watch it.
We should.
I do know that Riot Games actually just bought a very large stake in the company that made this show. I don't know if the complete ownership or like amount of like percentage of the company they now own, but they just bought a lot of it. Was just recently announced, I think, the past few days. So very exciting.
Everything's just like coming to a small screen near you or whatever size
so much content
thing you watch. There's a lot of content coming out. And you know, a few weeks back, we did talk about Elden Ring. They recently did announce that they were going to expand the world of Elden Ring, whether that be a potential movie to come, TV, maybe they're going to release some merch or whatever, but the world is going to be expanding and I'm very excited for it. It's just rumorville right now, but I really think that they could do so much with a television series because the world is so big. You could have like multiple different stories happening. It almost has like a little bit of a Game of Thrones kind of vibe to it. Francine has some words to say too.
She's like, Elden Ring, make the movie, make the show.
Oh my God.
She really wants it, Francine.
Okay, now that we're back after my cat had a meltdown, she had a lot to say about Elden Ring. Really what she wanted to say is you need to spend less time on your freaking computer and more time with me. That's what my cat was saying. Carrying on. Henry, have you ever played the game Cuphead?
I haven't, but I watch a lot of other people play because it looks really hard. So
it is really hard. It is actually a very hard game. I love the animation style and the music is amazing. This game is now on TV adaptation. So Cuphead is available for you to watch on Netflix.
It's available now?
Yeah, it's out.
Oh my God, I'm going to watch that.
Yeah, it's out already. And it has 69% Rotten Tomatoes. So it's like average. I don't know. Some people loved it. Some people hated it. I think the people who hated it just like it wasn't like the game, but you can't have it 100%.
No, it doesn't always
So the
work.
way that the description of the movie is it follows the misadventures of a lovable Cuphead and his cautious but easily swayed brother, Mugman, as they
boo.
scour the Inkwell Isles in search of fun and adventure. So yeah, it has the same animation style, same music as the game. They still have those like same boss battles, but like the way that they animated it is really cool. So it's similar to the game, but you're not like playing it, you're just watching it. So
how freaking fun. I mean, I'm already watching other people do it, so I'm probably
you could, if you do watch it, let me know what you think. I'm not so sure I will like it if I do watch it, but a show that everyone's been talking about that's on my list and I'm like, I gotta watch this, The Witcher. And I know you're a huge fan of The Witcher. You are everyone. I mean, you've been talking about it for a while, but like everyone loves The Witcher. Like people who don't even know anything about like video games, they love The Witcher. So
yeah, everyone's hot on that show.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to that. So The Witcher, is it Geralt? Am I pronouncing that wrong? Or is Geralt? Geralt, a mutated monster hunter, struggles to find his place in the world in which people often prove more wicked than beasts. Has an all-star cast, including Henry Cavill, whose video of him building a PC went viral, and I was among many who fell for a straight man.
I mean, he knows what he's doing. He's not the best actor, but in The Witcher, he's bringing in The Witcher, he does all his own stunts. And then he said in preparation for his role, he got into the best shape he's ever been in his life. So like he really pushed the limits on like his body and his physical fitness. So I'm like, awesome. I'm like, maybe he's not the strongest actor, but he's really stepping up to the plate in a lot of other ways, like being hot, being very strong, doing your own stunts.
And build your own PC. But then I found out he plays WoW, and I'm like, okay, knock down a little bit.
I do like WoW, but not right now because of Blizzard. They need to do a little revamp.
So this show is something that this next show, I'm so excited for, because not only was it filmed in the city that I live in, but it was also filmed on my campus at the city that I live in. The Last of Us, Naughty Dog's, very successful game, is going to be going on HBO, which I'm just like, I'm so excited. We do love HBO. And what's fun is Bella Ramsey, you know, Lady Mormont from Game of Thrones. I did just finish Game of Thrones, so this was exciting for me. She was cast as Ellie and Pedro Pascal as Joel. Oh my God.
I love both of them.
I
also,
love them too.
Both from Game of Thrones.
Both from Game of Thrones, exactly.
How fun.
The release date is late 2022, so hopefully we can see it by the end of the year. Maybe we should have a launch party together. You and I can watch it together.
Yes.
Speaking
I'm
of,
all for it.
You know how we were talking about the good and the bad? Let's talk about something that did not do so well. The Resident Evil movie, Infinite Darkness, it came out in 2021. It has a 50% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Okay. How rotten? I had to put that joke in there. Okay. Please, somebody laugh. Following a federal agent, Leon S. Kennedy teams up with TerraSave staff member Claire Redfield to investigate a zombie outbreak. See, I want to watch this movie because I do love Resident Evil, but I'm like, what? Why was it so bad? You know, because have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen this, but I have seen almost all the other Resident Evil movies, and they are not great, but I do love them. Like, they're have very low ratings on Rotten Tomatoes.
Is that why you don't like it? Is that why they're so bad? Because they're so cheesy? Or like, what is it?
No, I mean, they're just like, it's hard to do a zombie movie. It's really, really hard. And then especially Resident Evil, which like you expect a certain style from. And these movies are definitely like, you know, we just had Resident Evil revamp as a gaming franchise to a totally different style and genre. And all these new movies, I mean, even I mentioned one earlier in this episode. That one actually had a theatrical release and it did not do very well. But I just think it's something that's hard to convey into a non-playable setting. But I mean, like, I don't know if it's just because I'm a fan of the franchise, but these all have that sort of older style of the franchise. They haven't really adapted to the new style, which would be really, I think, would maybe save the movies. Like if they did it like Resident Evil 7 and moving forward. Like give me like an IRL Lady Demetrius.
Well, it's funny that you say that because they do have one coming out in July 2022. It's set to take place in the year 2036, so 14 years after the deadly virus that caused a global apocalypse. Jade Wesker fights for survival in a world overrun by bloodthirsty, infected, and insane creatures. In this absolute carnage, Jade is haunted by her past in Raccoon City, by her father's chilling connections to the Umbrella Corporation, but mostly by what happened to her sister, Billy. I will say that the promotional images for this slap so hard.
Oh, I'll have to look. I haven't
so
seen
good.
any.
Like I was like, okay, they're very like American Horror Story-esque. You know how like they always kill it with their marketing?
Yeah.
Amazing. They know based off of just the image alone, I'm like, that looks like it's going to be good. But, you know, if we look at history, maybe it won't be. Maybe it'll also have a 50%. Who knows?
I don't know. I think you can enjoy them and they can have a bad rating.
You can, but like, I sometimes get frustrated when I watch something that's so bad. I'm like, oh my God, I wasted my time. You know what I mean? Like, my dad won't stop watching it, but I get up and leave. So that's like our difference there. And finally, to round it all off, I am so excited for this. This is going to be on Amazon Prime.
I have that.
Yeah. I have that Fallout.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Who's going to be in it? Westworld?
Yes. No, yes, Kate. Let me get to that. So it's a co-production between Amazon Studios and Westworld's creator, Jonathan Nolan and Lisa Joy. Kilter Films. Okay, the series, officially marketed as a Prime original, will stream on Amazon Prime Video. So I'm super excited because we both have Prime, and so it's very accessible to us. And we know that Fallout is one of the greatest game series of all times. And both Lisa and John have said that each chapter of this imaginative story has cost countless of hours we could have spent with families and friends who are incredibly excited to partner with Todd Howard and the rest of the brilliant lunatics at Bethesda to bring massive, subversive, and darkly funny universe to life with Amazon Studios.
That sounds great because that's what I was going to say. It can't be Hollywooded.
No, it can't
Fallout franchise. It has to be subversive. It has to be dark. It has to be funny. That's what makes those games great. So I'm so glad to hear that they're putting that in the forefront.
I mean, they said that they lost so many hours with their
Lisa
family
and John
and friends playing
do
with
not
this
need
game.
to guilt us into watching it though.
No, they don't need to.
Lisa and John, you chose to do that. So don't try to guilt me into watching your show. I'm going to watch it already because I love
watch
this
it. You don't have to guilt me to do anything because I love Fallout. But if you're a huge Fallout fan, you do hate being guilted. You hate doing anything that everybody tells you. You have to be your own free agent and do the things on your own. And I totally agree with you. But yes, I'm super excited for Fallout. Super excited for that new Resident Evil. Naughty Dog. Oh my God, I can't. There's so many good. I love TV more than I love movies because I don't have a very high attention span to sit down for like at least 2 hours. But with like TV shows, I can pause and get up and do whatever. So it's not like a big deal. That's why I love TV so much more than movies. And seeing like games that I really enjoy adapted to television, I'm about to freak out. I mean, I think I'm already freaking out. I need to like. Be
Yeah,
cautious,
no, your section was way better than mine. That was like, there's these bad movies for the past that are bad. Yours is like, here's all this fun stuff for the future. No, I'm excited for yours. That was so great. I like can't wait to watch all of these.
Yeah,
I
so
love
excited.
video games.
Which one are you most excited for?
Okay, so like honestly, like I'm binging Bridgerton right now, but as soon as Bridgerton's over, I'm jumping to Arcane. 100%.
Okay.
The art style is beautiful. I can't wait. I'm gonna do that. I already watched The Witcher, so.
Yeah, you already watched The Witcher. I don't know if I want to watch The Witcher. I don't know. Is it worth it? Maybe.
Yeah, it took me a little bit to get into it.
Oh, does it? Okay.
Yeah, so my thoughts on The Witcher, and then I'm sorry to keep everyone giving you my thoughts on The Witcher, but like it's more for like the fantasy story. Like, it's not logical, so don't expect going in super like a lot of logic or like the story isn't super like tight knit. You just go in and take it for what it is, and that'll be very fun.
Okay.
Yeah, take it for what it is.
I love that. I'm just excited for everything to come. I'm excited to just, sit and watch on my small screen and let us know what you are excited for. Did we miss something? We probably did. There's a lot out there. We can only fit so much into these episodes. Stuff. So yeah, let us know what you're most excited to, see coming out.
Tell me when that Stardew Valley game's coming out.
Yeah, let us know. Concerned Ape, please hit us up. This is how many weeks of us trying to contact you.
We're manifesting. Remember, everyone, remember when we finally get to talk to Concerned Ape on this stupid show we're doing, that we manifested it from day one.
We manifested it on this day from day one. Okay, that's correct.
Manifesting. All right. We'll be right back. Whether you stream it at home or you go to AMC to see Nicole Kidman tell you there's magic in a place like this. At the beginning of every film, video game being adapted into TV shows, movies, they're becoming more and more prevalent, and I actually freaking can't wait to see everything that becomes a film because I could always use more, especially with the games I love.
And honestly, Hunter, I 1,000% agree with you. There's so much good media coming to come. It's only the beginning. This is literally only the beginning. If we're gonna get bangers like Arcane, we're gonna get other stuff. We're gonna get
there's gonna be more hits and less flops for sure.
Because you want to know why there's less flops? Uwe has retired.
Retired. No more bad films can be made about video games.
But thank you.
Now mediocre and above.
Yeah. Thank you to everybody who listened this week. I'll be back again every Monday, and we love the support. Tweet us, and we love you. Thank you. Tell us your favorite movie, video game.
Yeah, tell us.
Tell us.
See you next week, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye.